This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Carts Towing and Timco Auto Transport. Local and long-distance towing, auto recovery, roadside assistance, auto lockouts, and jump starts. And they also do repossessions. Give them a call today at 304-949-2323 or 304-925-0858. Again, that's Carts Towing and Timco Auto Transport, 304-949-2323, 304-925-0858. All right, guys, here we are for another segment here in Greenbrier County, West Virginia, at the Greenbrier Resort, doing a little promotion for the Wild and Wonderful Hunting, Fishing, and Conservation Expo that they're going to have here in September. So I've got Dan Hall here with me, co-host,
Yes,
and I got Dave Young on the production. And we've got special guests here, Bubba Holt with Project Healing Waters. How you doing, Bubba?
Doing good, sir. Thanks for the opportunity to hang out with you guys today.
Yes,
we
sir.
appreciate you coming in talking to us there a little bit.
Definitely. So just tell us a little bit about Project Healing Waters and its mission.
So Project Healing Waters is dedicated to the emotional and physical rehabilitation of our nation's active duty personnel and disabled veterans through the art of fly fishing,
Wow.
which includes education and outings. We meet on a weekly, bi-weekly basis, teach everything from fly tying to rod building to casting, take them fishing. I mean, it's the whole gamut.
The whole thing, man. That's awesome. You know, that's one thing that's special about our podcast is we do salute to valor on all of our regular episodes. And, you know, we found that there's a lot of veterans out there that doesn't really want to give that information out because they don't want the recognition.
That's exactly
They
right.
didn't do it just for the recognition.
No, we didn't.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And Dan here, you know, he served. So it's just one of those things. So
the way we see it, we're here to serve them because they served us.
Yes.
Regardless
Right, yeah.
of,
Definitely.
you know,
And that's awesome.
what else they think. We want to give them a chance to learn how to fly fish because it can do so much for you.
Yeah. And since we've really started this podcast, we've learned that there's a lot of organizations like you guys that are out there for the veterans.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and
yeah.
I know for a fact that a lot of the veterans don't know about these projects.
Not as many that should.
No,
in
absolutely.
my opinion.
Right.
And that's what we're here to do.
Yeah,
we're here to
absolutely.
get that word out. So.
Yeah. The more veterans we can reach through this and explain to them, hey, there's things out there for you. Like I was in Illinois. I met a group of guys. They do a Wednesday night meeting every Wednesday, veterans only.
Yeah, the 217.
217 vets.
Yep.
It's a way to get back into that mentality of a veteran status. You know, you got the guys that's done it, been there,
Right.
the same as you. You can talk to them because it is hard to talk to civilians about what you've went through and all that.
Things you experienced.
Right.
You know.
Yeah. We see that. I'm a civilian. I never served in the military.
Sure.
But working with all the veterans we have, you learn how to try to get them together in group settings and
Yeah.
build that
And
bond
it
and that
helps them.
camaraderie.
It does help
Oh,
them.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it
Right,
helps a
well,
lot.
what you all are doing, you're bringing back the camaraderie
Yep.
like they had when they were active.
Exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
and that's what these guys need. And it's something that lacks, and it's something that they miss when they are not active and they get out. So I kind of think it plays a little bit of mind games with them.
Sure.
And they need that. And it's the Project Healing Waters title and the name of the business and the organization. That's just awesome. I love that whole aspect of it. So can you tell us a little bit about how that name was created? Do you know some background behind that?
Oh, yeah, yeah. So Captain Ed Nicholson was the founder of Project Healing Waters and kind of got things started with Trout Unlimited in 2006, and then we went out and got our own 501c3 designation in 2007.
Okay.
We have roughly 200 programs across the country. Right here in West Virginia, we have 8 programs.
Awesome.
And do some pretty awesome events here in this state. So one of the events is at Thornwood, and then we got a smallmouth tournament coming up here in May, and we got a muskie tournament coming up this fall, and we use those to give them an opportunity to fish for species they normally otherwise wouldn't. You know,
And-
we're
and
Project
that's-
Healing Waters fly fishing, not
Yeah.
fly fishing for trout. Right?
Yeah,
So,
okay, so that
hear you.
is with fly rods. So you're
Right.
catching muskie on fly rods.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
catching-
Oh my gosh.
man.
Oh, man.
That's crazy.
I'm in
Oh.
on that. I've never caught a muskie on my own.
Oh.
I've casted 9,998 times. So I've got 2 more casts to catch one. You know, they say that's the fish with 10,000 casts.
Yeah, it sure is. And we actually, one of the guys here with me this week, his name's Michael Sargent. He's back here. He's our assistant program lead here in Lewisburg. Last year at the muskie tournament, he caught his first ever muskie.
Oh, man.
I think
that's
it was, I don't want to say wrong because he'll cut me off at the knees, 38.5 inches. Might have been 39.5.
That's a good
On a
one.
fly
Right.
rod, that's awesome.
It was awesome, right? So
Yeah.
it'll make you want to take back stuff you didn't even steal, boys. I'm telling you. You hook one of those suckers, your knees go weak and everything.
I'm sure.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, we get a pretty awesome opportunity and get to listen to some awesome stories. And last week, I know at this event, we're with the Ward Burton Foundation,
Yes.
just finalized that partnership.
Yeah.
We had an event at Ward's
Yeah.
property, chasing stripers, actually, with
Oh,
fly rods.
man.
So we try to do it all, and we try to hit as many as we can. When you're nationwide, the only states that don't have a program currently are Louisiana and Hawaii. And
No kidding.
we're looking forward to. We got them in Alaska. I mean, they're all over, but
Right.
trying to get expansion. And without the opportunity to work with the Greenbrier and you guys help promote the organization, this is how we do it. I mean,
Yeah, definitely.
there's a lot of organizations that have great stories, and this is ours. And it's pretty cool to be a part of. So
So you said that you guys are about 200 through the whole United States, other than those 2 states. So
Right.
that's pretty impressive. I mean, I know there's several states that don't have trout fishing readily available. So they base their fly fishing on smallmouth and largemouth and all that. Then, right?
saltwater. We
Oh,
got a lot
yeah,
of folks
yeah,
in saltwater.
There's a lot that do saltwater, yeah. I was just going to say that.
saltwater. So there's all of that, and
So
they're
I'd
just
say Florida
outdoorsmen.
definitely for saltwater.
Yeah, Florida, all the way into Texas. I mean,
Yeah,
Corpus
yeah.
Christi down in
Yeah.
there on the Gulf, man, the redfish and the sea
yeah.
trout down there. Whew.
So out of that 200, like what Dan's talking about, West Virginia kind of plays a big role in participation for this Project Healing Waters. I mean, we have a good outreach here in the state of West Virginia for
Yes.
that, and it's strong.
Yes, we do. We have very good volunteer leadership. We only have 16 paid staff in the organization.
Oh,
Okay.
total.
Total.
Wow.
So
Wow.
work with 20,000 vets annually. We have 6,000 volunteers roughly that do that. So we're a lot of people, right? But West
Sure.
Virginia, with our 8 programs, 2 of the largest outings in the organization happen right here in West Virginia.
Wow, that's awesome. That is awesome.
One of them, we had 70 participants, and we call our disabled veterans participants in their programs. Had 70 participants and 80 volunteers at one, and another has roughly a 40-40 ratio.
Okay.
So some pretty big outings, because look at what you got, guys. I mean,
know.
the mountains all around you, trout
Yeah.
stream run right through
Trout
the middle of the
streams,
Greenbrier. Jeez.
I've never been to Anthony Creek, and we drove by it today,
Oh,
and I
my
was
gosh.
like, I have never seen water in a stream in West Virginia that looks like that.
Good fishing.
I
Really,
mean, it
really
looked
good fishing.
it looked like the water was artificial, like you're seeing it in a golf course.
Right.
Yeah,
Really.
right.
I mean, like the deep pools and stuff, how green it was, and it was just flowing. I mean, it was amazing. I have never experienced that, and we fish a lot Shaver's Fork, and I love Shaver's Fork, Cherry River, Williams River, Cranberry.
Cranberry,
We
yeah.
fished
Oh, yeah.
Cranberry a lot. I love Cranberry.
I know the cranberry like the back of my hand.
But there's tons of streams here in West Virginia that people just really don't even know about until you get out and you get into it,
Right. I like checking out all them streams, man. I know I fished over 500 in the state of West Virginia, just trout
yeah.
streams.
Sure.
I
So
do.
you talking about muskie fishing with the fly rods? Shoot, the name just slipped my mind. It's up in Weston. It's a prominent muskie river. It
The
runs-
West Fork?
Yeah, I think it is
Yeah, it
West
comes
Fork.
out of Stonewall.
Yeah.
Yep.
So
West
you guys hit on that river and everything?
Oh, we do muskie fishing all
No,
over
that's the
state.
West Fork of the Greenbrier, right?
No.
No.
No?
No, that's I can't remember what the actual West Fork dumps into, because we just call it the West Fork.
Okay.
But
I've heard that is
it
one
comes
of
out
the
of Stonewall
greatest,
Jackson Lake. and-
greatest muskie rivers in this state.
Oh, it's great. The Hughes River, the High River, guys. The High River's
Really?
got muskie in it.
Yeah,
I
that's
live
what
in
I've heard.
Parkersburg. So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But there's West Virginia got so much to offer: bass, muskie, trout. I mean, hybrid stripers, some stripers. Panfish, crappie.
Yep.
Any
I love eating me some
Sturgeons?
crappie.
right sturgeons.
Yeah.
I mean, there's sturgeons in the High River. You never know what you're going to get when you cast out.
Yeah.
Awesome. So, well, if you don't care, tell us a little bit about what you're doing up here at the Greenbrier and how you guys got connected with them and the opportunities that has brought up.
Well, actually, we got approached by the Greenbrier. Said they wanted to partner with Project Healing Waters and work with us and give back to the veterans in this community and in the state. And
that's awesome.
And they've done that. Our local program meets right here at their facilities, sports performance facility. They tie flies.
Oh, wow.
They do the rod building.
Oh,
They
man.
base their outings out of
Yeah.
here. They'll take them fishing on the creek. I mean, they give us boats to float down the rivers for the Classic and other float trips.
As we talked earlier, about tying flies, you guys put that on for us yesterday at the meet and greet type thing when everybody first got here. And
yeah, that was the guides.
Yeah,
I was there just hanging out. But
yeah, that was
the
cool.
guides. Oh, yeah. It's
that was
pretty
awesome.
You really get to focus on task at hand. Part of the things that the guys and gals in our programs like is the structure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So it's how we structure those meetings. Here's what we're going to do from one meeting to the next. They know what they can expect when they come in, and they know that when they get there, they're going to be around a band of brothers.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Sure.
That's
So
awesome.
That's the biggest thing. But
Yeah.
here at the Greenbrier, we have the facilities. We can accommodate so many more people.
Yeah,
And
for sure.
They've been so beneficial in getting this program up off the ground and going and really booming.
So is this one of the larger entities for you guys in this county?
I think in this program, there's 32 participants roughly right now.
Okay.
Clarksburg has 64 participants, but they have a VA hospital right there too. So
Yeah.
we work real close with the VA hospital with
cool.
rec therapy and VAVS too. So they get some help. But as far as doing the most outings and the most fishing opportunities, I'd say this one kind of takes the cake, right?
Yeah,
Sure.
I'm sure.
Ain't another place like it in West
I
Virginia.
know, man. This place is amazing. Well, Bubba, we appreciate you coming on, and this is kind of just like a sneak peek of us having you on for a full episode so we can get a little more background and history, what Project Healing Waters actually does, and a lot of the different things that you all ran. You've got the connection here with the Greenbrier. You all just sealed the deal with
Ward Burton.
Ward Burton, yes, sir.
Yeah, so
That's
I
awesome.
think it's going to be amazing, and Ward Burton's a great guy. The organization that he's got going on for veterans in the outdoors and things like that, that's amazing. So we love stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's what we base our podcast around. Our platform is God, family, country, and everything outdoors. So we love it all.
Well, thanks for letting
trying
us
to
be a
bring
part of it.
the grassroots back to America.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Thanks
So-
for letting us have a little piece of it. So.
Yeah,
Yeah,
definitely,
appreciate
man.
it.
So we'll get you scheduled on again for a full
we
episode.
absolutely look forward to talking to you guys again.
Looking forward to speaking to you.
All right, thank
Appreciate
you,
it.
sir. All right, guys. So we got one more segment coming up with some of the fly fishing guides here at the Greenbrier Resort. They got on some fish here today, so we'll have them on here in just a second after a word from one of our sponsors. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys.
This segment of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by AMG Network Hosting, LLC, a national independent agent for most major telecommunication service providers. If your business is in need of internet, phones, credit card processing, let AMG Hosting help you compare options. They work with over 100 national carriers, and they can help you choose the best option for your needs. Our independence means we are loyal to our customers, not a brand or a company. Call us today at 304-608-3653 or visit us at amgnhconsulting.com. amgnhconsulting.com. Phone number again is 304-608-3653. AMG Network Hosting, LLC. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Outdoor Pro Shop, LLC. Outdoor Pro Shop is a family-owned and operated firearms dealer and sporting goods retailer. They have pay-over-time options, a rewards program, and customer service satisfaction that is unmatched. They might not be the biggest, but they strive to be the best. Contact them today at 240-360-1298 or visit them on the web at www.outdoor-pro-shop.com. That's Outdoor Pro Shop, 240-360-1298. All right, guys, welcome to another segment here at the Greenbrier Resort. We're up at Kate's Mountain Lodge doing a live podcast promoting the Wild and Wonderful Hunting, Fishing, and Conservation Expo that's coming up in September. So that's going to be September 23rd through the 25th, I believe. So right now we have some of the fishing guides here at the Greenbrier. They was out fishing today. We've had all kinds of events going on here. We've turkey hunted. We've trout fished. I mean, there's all kinds of stuff
shooting
going on.
Experiences.
Yeah, you can hear the shooting experiences in the background. So, I mean, there's just so much the Greenbrier has to offer here in West Virginia. I mean, if you're not here, you're missing it. That's for sure. So
absolutely.
I've got Dan Hall here with me, co-host, and I've got Dave Young, production guy, here with me. So, and then we've got special guests Colton Kessler and Bo Winnington.
Yeah.
So Colton's up first. Colton Kessler, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Glad to have you on here. So you was out to you was the one that actually, had some fish on the line today. And
Yeah, we had some luck today. We were out on Howard's Creek. That's just one of the options we have here. I mean, if you're a fly fisherman, this is one of the places to be.
Yeah.
I mean, we got 2.5 miles of creek that you can just pound away at for 2 hours, or you can even pay for an all-day pass if you want to go by yourself.
And it's fully stocked all the time.
We fully stock it twice a year with some big fish.
Yeah.
Some of the bigger fish that you've probably ever seen. So.
Oh, I guarantee it.
And they all kind of get to stay there because it is catch and release only, right?
Absolutely, yeah.
Awesome.
The only time they leave is if they want to, I guess.
Yeah, sure.
I hear you.
Grow
Nice.
old, and they grow old and die, huh?
Well, sometimes.
So how many did you all catch today?
Well, we were out for about 2 hours, maybe a little over 2 hours, and we landed 20. But I tell
Nice.
you, we were hooked up quite a few times. But if you know anything about fly fishing, we use small tippet.
Oh, yeah.
And when you got a big trout with some nice teeth on him, he breaks that tippet pretty easy.
Chop
So
that right in half.
So it's hard to tell how many we hooked, but we definitely landed probably about 20. Nice sized fish too. Rolled up this morning. Wasn't sure where we was going to fish at. Like I said, we got 2.5 miles of creek. It's hard to choose.
Yeah.
There's a lot of good places.
I know, right there behind the little place where we were tying the flies on. That's a good place.
Yeah.
They pulled some last night.
They pulled one out there last night.
Absolutely. They love to sit in that deep water,
That was
especially
nice.
right now. Yep. Yeah, rolling up this morning, that weather, just breaking off that hot weather, you knew it was going to be a good day.
Yeah. So how long is some of your leaders and things like that you use on your fly rods?
I don't know if there's any Office fans out there, but I like to always say I'm not superstitious. I'm just a little stitious about that leader. So I always measure on the fly rod, and we're typically always using a 9-foot fly rod.
Okay.
And I probably have about 6 inches of that fly line hanging out of the end of the rod, and then the rest of it, about 6 foot's probably leader. And we make our own leaders, tight leaders, fluorocarbon.
Awesome.
And then the rest of it's tippet. So we have about 3 foot, and then maybe a trailer or a drop fly. So
Okay.
Nice.
So how many guys did you get to take out where you hooked up with all these fish?
this 2 hours was a personal 2 hours, and that's what you're going to get if you come. Is you have hands on. If we have more than 2, we'll throw another guide in there just to get hands on and get any attention that you need. So
yeah, that's awesome. So it like we were saying, it was all fly fishing only, and it's all catch and release only through the resort, right?
Yep, through the resort. So Howard's Creek is pretty long, but our 2.5 miles, like we said, all fly fish only, all catch and release. So
That's awesome.
So now outside the resort, is that game on?
So actually the state, which obviously you guys are familiar how the state stocks, they stock a lot of waters above Howard's Creek. They stock it, I think, bi-weekly, and below it there's always some trout, but they don't stock it. But there's trout, so it's fair game.
Well, yeah, you're gonna get some of these ones from the resort swimming down and out. And
yep, that's exactly right.
So
that's awesome. So now you guys have a fly shop right here on site at the Greenbrier.
Yeah, so Kate's Mountain shop, it has everything that you want. It has our flies in it. It has gun club stuff. It has any merchandise that you could probably think of. It's up there. The Brio stoves that Hunt Chef was displayed the other night.
Oh, okay.
yeah,
It has everything.
okay.
I don't know where I got Rectech grills from. Is that even a thing?
No, yeah, it's Rectech grills are a thing.
Okay. Well, I don't know where I got that from. We were talking about that earlier, and he was like, no, it was Brio that was here. And I was like, oh, okay.
Rectech, that's a Roll King thing, isn't it?
I don't know. I don't know where that came from. It just
I've
comes to
seen
my
them.
head.
I've seen them recently, and I can't remember where I seen them. But yeah, RecTech is it's the bull. The emblem's the bull.
Oh,
I think. Yeah.
okay.
But
Well, that was just a little side note. Sorry.
yeah, you get distracted. But no, those Brio grills are
they're
they're
the deal.
awesome. They are smokeless, like you were saying. They're pretty sweet things.
Yeah. I mean, he does an amazing job on it too. Mm-hmm. So, like you're saying, Howard's Creek is where you all caught all these rainbows.
Yep.
Which runs right through the property here at the Greenbrier Resort, right?
Right through the property.
Okay.
And that's the 2 miles you was talking about.
Yeah, it runs right through the property. If you look out your window, if you're staying here, if you're walking around, you'll see it.
Yeah.
Nice.
Is there any tributaries that run into that, like Anthony's Creek or anything like that?
Or does it run into Anthony's?
So Howard's Creek actually runs into the Greenbrier.
Okay.
Down the way. Now up above, there's a little creek called Dry Creek. It runs from Tuckahoe Lake. That's the main tributary.
Okay.
It doesn't look like much. There's a reason they call it Dry Creek. So.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
It's only full when it rains, huh?
Yeah, pretty much.
Well,
Very
Colton,
awesome.
we appreciate you having you on this evening.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
awesome.
thanks for
I'm
having me.
glad you guys
Yeah.
actually got to get your patrons onto some trout this
Yes,
evening or this
definitely.
this afternoon, I guess it was. So
Yeah.
that's cool, and that's an experience them guys will never forget.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, isn't it something you as the guide seeing the experience, that they have? I mean, that's something that you probably enjoy more than, guiding.
Oh, absolutely. We always say as guides, if you could live the rest of your life never catching a fish but seeing people catch fish,
Yeah.
you're a
the
pretty good
excitement
guide.
on their face.
That's
you're,
awesome.
Yeah.
You're a true fisherman at that point, and you're
Now-
a good guide.
With that guide, is that all inclusive? Like you guys give them the equipment, or do they have to bring your own equipment? Or
It's all inclusive. We
Okay.
bring boots. We bring whatever you need. We even provide alcohol sometimes if that's what
I
you
like
want. Yeah, hot days, cold water, anything you want.
Yeah.
Okay.
And usually every guy that you'll take out, all inclusive flies. I mean, there's no rate to it. You lose as many as you want to. We tie them all ourselves, so it just adds another element to it.
wow,
Like I said, we make our own leaders.
Yeah.
And even, obviously, you guys know Caleb.
Yeah.
Me and Caleb make their own rods. So we even have rods that we made that we take people fishing with. We built the leaders.
I
we
love
made the
I love
flies.
how it's all here based in West Virginia.
Yeah.
Yep,
absolutely.
Yeah. Love the hands-on stuff. All right, Colton. Well, we thank you,
Yeah,
sir.
we appreciate it.
So now we got Bo coming in. Bo Winnington, he's right there by Colton. So we'll switch out real quick. He's putting on his headphones there. This is just such a great event, man. I mean, we've had an awesome day. I mean, we're leaving here and going to dinner at 5:30, so we got to rush through this.
Yeah,
real
we're
quick.
rushing. So
we're rushing a
we're,
little bit.
we're probably missing some stuff. that we
Everybody's
should
done
hit on.
left us. My son's over here passed out in the seat. I mean, he's had a good day. So.
Yeah, well, he did. He
He
take
did chase a
off
bird
running,
this morning.
chasing a bird.
He
So
did.
he's going to be a little tired.
And he's
today.
helped set up all this equipment and stuff. So,
Yeah.
all right, Bo Winnington, how you doing, sir?
Doing good. How are you guys?
Oh, we're
Doing
doing
great.
amazing, man. Doing amazing. So, you're a fishing guide here at the Greenbrier, and you're also the owner of Beauzooka Baits, correct?
Yes, I am. I'm one of the full-time fishing guides here at the Greenbrier,
All right.
and I've had my muskie lure company for 10-ish years now.
Oh, wow.
5-ish pretty serious.
Okay.
Okay.
Muskie's my love for sure.
Yeah.
I'll fish for anything.
Yeah.
But I do love the muskies.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you were out today fishing muskie.
We were. I took 2 new guys, never caught a muskie. They were actually from Canada, never caught a muskie,
wow.
and they decided they wanted to catch their first muskie instead of Canada, West Virginia.
Hey, we have good fishing here. So
We have great
we
fishing
can't-
here. Mid-April is one of the probably toughest times to get on a muskie.
Well, that's when they're spawning and stuff, right?
Mid-spawn, they're just now kind of coming off. Some of the males, maybe, we saw some paired up. Just a tough time. And my guys got tired pretty quick. We fished hard for about 40 minutes, and then it was a lot of not casting after
Well,
that.
muskie fishing's hard work.
It's hard work.
I mean, it really is. From what I've seen, I've never done it, but I've watched videos of people
Well,
doing it and stuff like that.
You got to think how big them plugs are for the most part.
Yeah,
You're pulling some serious stuff through the water.
Basically,
on
you're-
average, 3 ounces to 16, 18 ounces sometimes those lures. I mean, that's over a pound.
Right.
That's a big bait.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, you're basically pulling a big old sunfish or a bluegill through the water.
Exactly.
Continuously every time you
Continuously,
throw
yeah.
it. Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. So is it strictly muskie fishing that you do here, or do you do all kinds of it?
I do the on-property stuff as well. Do a lot of fly fishing, trout fishing. I seem to be the resident muskie expert. I wouldn't call myself an expert, but anytime anybody wants to go, I make sure I tell them how it's going to be. You know, we may not see a fish. Yeah. We may not see a fish for 3 days. But when you do get one, it's going to be story of a lifetime.
Yeah.
Sure. I do the on-property trout fishing. We do off-property floats for muskie, smallmouth, trout, whatever you want. We can do it.
Yeah, and that's the biggest difference between muskie fishing, bass fishing, trout fishing, different things like that. Is like you're not always going to see them fish. You know, there's a lot of times that you go out and you see a lot of trout and you see a lot of bass and they just ain't hitting. It's not like that with muskie. You don't just see the fish and they ain't going to hit it. Right?
It's not like that. Like you said, it's fish 10,000 casts.
Yeah.
That's an awful lot of casts.
Yep.
Seeing a muskie is like seeing a unicorn. If you see one, you did something right that day. So we saw a few muskie today, and that's a good day in my book. Now, people that have never done it before and didn't catch anything, that's a little bit less fun for them. But I make it very clear in the beginning, you know,
Chances are you
tough.
ain't getting.
Chances are you ain't getting one. But, you know, I've had 7 fish days, 5 fish days. Sometimes it just goes in your favor.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a couple different amounts of days that you've guided for these people. What's your guide days like usually? Like, you get people that just want to do 1 day of it, 3 days, 5 days, 7 days, a whole week of it, all that?
You know, a lot of the guiding we're doing, like Colton was saying, we do a lot of the 2-hour on-property trips for trout. Mm-hmm. Most of the time, we'll get, if someone wants to do a float trip for smallmouth or muskie, it's going to be a single day, 6 to 8 hour, or 2 day, full day trip. It takes about that long before you get the hang of it. You know, if you've never casted these big baits before, these big flies, you know, by that second day, you're kind of keyed in. Your figure eight's a little bit better. You kind of understand what's going on. So there's a lot of skill involved. It's really hard to just pick up a muskie rod and then just understand it right off the bat.
Oh yeah.
Because everything sounds really good, and you can explain it to everybody, and they can understand it. And as soon as there's a 4-foot fish following their bait to the boat, it's all over.
It changes things.
Yeah.
You got a small canoe coming up.
They freeze every time.
Awesome.
Oh, geez.
So why don't you tell us a little bit about your muskie bait company there, that you've been creating your own baits and all that?
So I started that a while ago. My grandfather was a big carpenter, and I hung out with him a lot as a kid, so he taught me all the woodwork and stuff. And I've always enjoyed it. I do a lot of other woodwork and stuff too, but muskie baits, a lot of people don't know, but some of the best muskie lure makers in the world are located in West Virginia. West Virginia is a hub of handmade muskie baits.
Yeah.
And I'm glad to be a part of that community.
That's awesome.
But you know, I just always like tinkering. I'd buy baits, and maybe they wouldn't run the way I want to, so I would add some lead or take some out, change it a little bit. Mm-hmm. And then eventually I was like, well, this is a lot of work. You know, I'm paying a lot of money for these lures to have to fix them myself, so what if I just make one myself?
Yeah, definitely.
So I started making it myself. I met a guy, Sean Cox. He was a guide on Cave Run for a long time. He kind of liked the way they looked. You know, I was just getting started, so I was like, I'll send you with 2. He's a guide on Cave Run. We go out there. He calls me the next day. He said, well, I don't know if you know this, but you're going to be really popular one day. And I said, well, why is that? He said, we just boated a 45-inch or third cast with this bait.
Wow.
And then ever since then, it's just kind of spiraled. And now, you know, I put lure drops on my website, and they sell out usually in the first 5-10 minutes. The expos that I do, I'm usually sold out in 10,
I've
15
heard
minutes.
about some of the expos that you do and stuff like that.
I've seen grown men push each other, fighting through the door to get to the baits.
That's what I've heard. I was like, man, that's just crazy. Nice. Well, tell our viewers and our listeners how they can get your baits and how they can schedule a fishing guide tour or whatever you want to call it here at the Greenbrier.
So if you want to get a hold of me, talk to me about baits, I have Instagram, Facebook, Beauzooka Baits. I got a website, beauzookabaits.com. You can email me through there, message me. I try to do lure drops once a month. I don't do custom orders anymore. It's just really hard to keep up guiding full time. You know, I'm working 80-hour, 100-hour pay period, so it's a lot.
Sure.
If you want to get a hold of me to guide, you can get a hold of Case Mountain Adventures at the Greenbrier. Get a hold of them. They'll transfer you to me. Or you can call me, 304-964-9988. Book directly through us. Anytime you want, muskie, trout, smallmouth, anything that swims.
All right, nice. Well, we appreciate you being on this evening, Bo. It was nice having you. And we might have you on again for a full episode so you can tell a little bit more about your business.
I'm down.
And about the history behind it and how it got started. So, All right, guys. Well, that concludes our segments here at the Greenbrier Resort and Kate's Mountain Lodge. So our promo for the Wild and Wonderful Hunting, Fishing, and Conservation Expo coming up in September 23rd through September 25th. That's when the show is going to be. So make sure you mark your calendars. Be sure to check us out on Facebook, On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls. You can check us out on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and about 18 other different outlets. So thank you all for listening. We've had an amazing time here. If you haven't had a chance, check the Greenbrier Resort out. This episode of On the Limb with Nature's Voice Game Calls is brought to you by Top Down Construction, a local construction company located in Hurricane, West Virginia. A veteran-owned and operated construction company ready to tackle any project. With over 25 years of experience in the industry, they offer a wealth of knowledge from design to completion. Contact them today at 304-415-2203 and let them make your dream a reality. You can also check them out on their Facebook page or call them today at 304-415-2203.